could not have been made. It's not if I can't sign it, it's not an offer. And I ended like
it's
so.
Like,
hey, maybe we could cobble together 4 years, 80. If you say you want to come here, give me some time to work my
give me
magic.
3 months.
Because here's the deal: the Lakers don't have 18 because it doesn't have to be $20 million a year because it can scale up a bit. Right. They don't have $18 million to offer for this year. And so what teams with well-run front offices historically do is before the meet, Brew, you tell me, because you've been not quite in the meetings, but closer to the meetings than I've been, they clear out the space beforehand so it's ready to go. So like, hey, we can do this right now before you leave, before you go check out the great lakefront real estate in Dallas you're looking at. Like, no, that's usually how it's done. The way it's typically done in my experience with the Lakers is after missing out on a target that you publicly pursue, you float out there some numbers that you think is going to get you good PR, but then this happens. And so, like, no. So I don't buy it. And one other thing I must say, for folks that are, I guess, new to the American tax code, the state of California and the state of Texas did not recently undergo some massive tax changes that have now all of a sudden made Dallas a free agent destination when it hasn't been for a decade, and made the Lakers out in the cold when it had always been the place my whole life up until roughly 10 years ago. So this idea is, it's the taxes. What are you going to do about the taxes? I don't know, man. Dr. Buss never had a problem getting free agents with those taxes, and Mark Cuban forever missed out on free agents despite the taxes. So this whole idea of, it's unfair. It's just the state taxes, man. What are you going to do? Capitalism. The whole thing irritates me beyond belief.
Yeah, I mean, look, what the Lakers, you're right in that front office is either clear the money or they have deals in place.
Right.
You've seen somewhere, right? Yeah, as soon as you agree, we making this trade. And they tried to trade D'Angelo Russell to the Warriors in a sign and trade that would have been able to get Klay back. The Warriors didn't want
They've been there, done that. They've had that experience.
And here's the challenge. Now, so you're right. Look, last year when they gave player options, when they signed like Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, they small like $2-3 million player options. But all those guys picked them up this year.
Why would
and
they
then
do that?
D'Lo, of course, picked this up, and that took away whatever money they might have to spend in free agency. D'Lo, I think, realized there's not this huge market out there for me. Okay, so that's why he opted in. Remember, after the playoffs, he thought, I'm about to, capitalize on my leverage.
Jackson Hayes picked up a player option of the league minimum. He's like, you know what? If I turn down the league minimum, it might not be out there for me.
But regular season, he's good.
You loved him.
He can
play. Look, I don't have a problem with Jackson Hayes, but yeah, so that money isn't out there, and next year the teams with money aren't that good, other than Philly, and that's gone, and so there isn't much of a market for D'Lo. So they could not. Klay was just like, I'm not sitting here waiting all summer possibly for you guys to find a trade partner for D'Angelo Russell. So that's why he went to Dallas.
And maybe also, by the way, maybe if all things were equal, he still maybe would have rather Dallas.
Better basketball decision.
But this idea that the Lakers were able to offer him 4 for $80, they weren't. And as far as the other things the Lakers had going for it, you mocked me yesterday. I do not care.
Don't say it.
Well, I don't know. Here's what Michael Thompson said yesterday on the radio when he was asked about congratulating Klay for going with the Mavs. Here's Michael Thompson, Lakers great.
I'm really disappointed. I was hoping, as you can assess, that he would be a Laker. He grew up a Laker fan. He grew up idolizing Kobe Bryant, like most players his age, most kids his age. So I just thought it seemed like it would be the perfect fit for him to finally come back home.
Okay, so here's my question, Wilds. I'm going to ask it because you called it a Rob Pelinka roast session, and I don't mean for that to be the case, but I have a question. What does he do?
Rob Pelinka?
Yeah, what does he do, and what evidence do we have that whatever he does, he's good at it? That's my question.
He won a championship.
Okay, so
he built the team that you always seem to pick.
What do you mean?
mean, when you
I
pick
go
them
ahead.
over Denver, and
Yeah,
you know,
I picked
You're
them.
very optimistic about the team that Rob
Denver.
I picked them
Pelinka's
to,
the
I
GM.
picked them
If they
to
had
beat
beaten Denver, you probably were going to pick them to win it all.
No, I
You would've picked that- if they
beforehand.
beat Denver,
I
you would've
said
picked
on
Dallas
the
to
show
beat
that
them?
I thought the Lakers would be out of gas if they beat Denver. So okay, so we can flip it and put it on that my overestimation of what LeBron's going to be able to do in the playoffs has clouded some predictions. That's fair enough.
I'm not banging on the predictions, but I'm like, you always pick them and you just like the GM.
But hold on, to be clear.
And you had given Pelinka credit for this roster in the past.
No.
Like at the beginning of the year, you didn't
hold
say they had
on a
pretty good
second.
summer?
Wait a second here. We're not going to rewrite the history of it.
I'm just asking. You never said that.
No, all year long we argued about how good the supporting cast was. That we would have the arguments on this show that you guys would say you like the supporting cast, and I would say I didn't. I thought them standing pat at the trade deadline was a massive mistake. I applauded them for not going after Kyrie, but it turns out I was wrong on that front. But I am not trying to be unfair, but if I don't think anyone looks at Rob Pelinka and says, you know what? Guys like Bobby Marks 2.0 when it comes to understanding the CBA. He's just a wizard. No, in fact, he gives out player options to entice minimum contract guys that then create hurdles for the team. Because, by the way, also under the new CBA, you can't include multiple minimum contract guys in a trade, so you can't even bundle those guys who you might not want on the team anymore. So if it's not CBA wizardry, then the GM's job, and it's not, look at this guy's presti-ish draft resume, then it's the recruitment part of it.
Yeah.
The relationships part of it. That's why you hire the agent turned GM, is because of the relationships in theory. And my question is, what evidence do we have of it that he's good at that part? That's all I'm asking. So if we want to say, Nick, you're wrong about the Lakers a lot, so be it. But that's a different conversation. What evidence do we have that he's good at the key things one has to do to run an NBA front office?
I mean, most teams are having these problems. We talk about Denver losing players every year that help them win a championship. So, Philadelphia, they chose Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler, right? And now
that GM lost his job.
But I'm just saying, throughout the league, you can point to things like, I'm not trying to defend Rob Pelinka. I'm just saying you just taking this opportunity to pounce on him. And I don't think he's doing a worse job than anybody else. Golden State is a mess right now. You see this is happening all over the league.
Okay, hold on.
And you just want to jump on him because they got LeBron. LeBron's 39.
No.
That's a big part of their problem. He's not he's great still, but he's not what he used to be. They got Anthony freaking Davis.
Right.
We say every day on the show, they're one of a handful of teams with 2 top 15 players. Is Austin Reeves garbage?
No.
Is Rui Hachimura garbage?
No.
They're decent role players.
Right.
I'm just saying, I just don't think it's fair to just use this as an opportunity to rip Rob Pelinka.
Okay,
I'm not saying he's great. He's made mistakes. But
I just want to know the pros along with the cons. And you mentioned Golden State. I don't know that Golden State's run well anymore. The guy who built that team's on TV now.
Yeah.
The Philly example, it cost that guy that and some weird tweets about collars, his job and other things. Like these guys, to me, when you have in 10 days 2 very public pursuits, and both times you're left at the altar. Once, when you create the pursuit out of thin air, I think for PR, in order to then go hire JJ. And the other one, when you do have the built-in advantages of prestige franchise, dad played here, is a California guy, grew up a Lakers fan, all of it, and you don't have your ducks in a row to make that happen, and instead you're the Lakers, you lose out on it to a team that always lose out on free agents. Questions should be asked. The point I am making is the Lakers used to have a built-in edge when it came to free agent acquisition, when it came to players. I've seen that.
They had Jerry West.
Right, they had a great GM.
Yeah, but Rob Pelinka is not Jerry West.
No,
who is?
On that we can agree.
Who is? Tell me the one who is.
Nobody's Jerry West, but there's a big gulf.
It's a lot of dudes.
Picked up a little bit there.
Championship or bust for Embiid, S-Bob.